Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Chelsea Road to Glory on FIFA 22. And I know what you're thinking. It's been close to a month. It's been a very long time since you have uploaded. Where have you been? And to quickly sum it up, there hasn't been much content for me to consume in terms of the Chelsea Road to Glory. As you can see on your screen, we have completed Fernando Torres and DESAILly, which are SBCs that just recently came out, and were very easy for us to craft because we haven't put fodder into super heavy things. There are a couple of SBCs that you will see down the road of the shapeshifter player picks, but on top of that, that amount of fodder was next to nothing in comparison to the stuff we have in the club. And right now we're a little bit dry, but we do have some objectives to be completed, so that I can get the extra shapeshifter token swaps, and I can get the 85 times 20 or something like that. And I still have a couple packs in the store for Friday, which is going to be Futties, which is probably the reason I waited so long to upload, because every week for shapeshifters there was only one specific card that would improve our team, or that would go for our Chelsea Road to Glory. And you know, there was weeks where I tried and I was gonna upload that as its own video, but I like to keep the thumbnails with 3 players on it. I don't like to steer away from 2 or from 1 solo. Yeah, and you know, I waited long, and now we have 3 players. The first player obviously was Eden Hazard from the early weeks of shapeshifters, which we never actually got to pack because he's super expensive. He's the second most expensive of the shapeshifters that are related to Chelsea. The first being KANTE as number 1. He's like 3.3 million right now. And Eden Hazard right now, I think the last I saw, is like 1.2 million. And then the third cheapest would be Timo Werner shapeshifter, which is around 700-800k. And right now our club is basically nothing but the team, some objectives, and some fodder. Everything else is basically things we can throw away into other SBCs. And for right now, I just want to save up some packs for Friday, because according to leaks, there is going to be a dynamic duo objectives with Mason Mount and Reece James. Obviously those are leaks and they do not confirm anything. However, most of the leaks from Fut Sheriff have been pretty accurate. I say most, he's probably missed a couple, but in relation to everything else, he's pretty much spot on. And having a Reece James Mason Mount to come out for Futties like day one is exciting, because it means that I'm back into the game. You know, these past couple of weeks there's been not much of a magnet towards this, and yeah, I haven't even played Fut Champs or anything, so you know, I'll get back into it, because they did change the Fut Champs rewards. I usually go for the max 90 rewards because it's pretty simple. Get 5 wins, give away 15, and you get your rewards. But this time around, they made it a max of 92. So that means we have a little bit more wiggle room. And given the fact that there's a lot of team of the seasons and shapeshifters that fit within that criteria, we still have ample amount of room to keep obtaining fodder, so we can just throw them into any SBC that we want. And considering the fact that they didn't change the Fut Champs rewards in terms of the, I think it's rank 6 or 5, where it's only 1 player pick versus 2 player picks. You know, they haven't changed that segment reward, so there's no real incentive for me to go any higher than 5 wins. So yeah, we're gonna keep going for the 5 wins for the time being. Obviously, it would be nice to get certain reds, you know, like a red De Bruyne or a red Cuadrado. But for the time being, you know, there's no real necessity. De Bruyne has been very good for us, and I know I have overpaid for him at this point. And with Futties coming back, it looks like Team of the Year is coming back very soon. And what was that? The Winter Wild Cards are coming soon. And for Birthday are coming soon. Those are the 3 that have been confirmed by EA themselves in the loading screen. So we'll have those, which means we'll probably get Jorginho Team of the Year very cheap. Considering he was like 300, 400k during Team of the Season. You know, I would assume maybe he drops to like 100k. If he drops anything lower than that, then obviously we'll be able to buy him very easily. Because right now I have 800k saved because I was looking to buy Torres and looking to buy DESAILLY and Drogba Pim, but obviously they gave us 2 of those as an SBC. So I'm kind of holding on and seeing if they give us a Drogba SBC. Given that Fernando Torres and DESAILLY also had their SBCs a long time ago, as well as Drogba and Eto'o, maybe they drop those again as Pims. That would be very nice for us, especially given their price. Eto'o, I think, is either around 1 mil or lower than that, and Drogba is around 200-300k, so it shouldn't be that expensive. If they do cut back as SBCs, obviously that will save us even more coins because it means we don't have to touch anything from our 800k. But if we have to, you know, I'll spend the coins for Drogba for weekend league and then sell him once I finish with him, and then just repeat that process. Obviously losing coins on tax and whatnot, but you know, it's better than losing the coins just by having him sit in the club, even though it seems like I don't want to replace him because now that we got Torres and Eto'o being his mid as 90, you know, he's been pretty good, but I kind of want to see if Torres can fulfill that role as the left striker and then have Drogba as his Pim on the right striker, because I still like Drogba in that right striker role. He's pretty decent. My guy's got the physicality for it and everything, so you know, there's not much I can complain about from him. And you'll see in the team update what it looks like. Obviously, you know, we have Juan Mata, De Bruyne, Cuadrado, and Oscar from the previous episode that was a month ago. But yeah, every week for Shapeshifters, I try to pack one of them. You know, it was very difficult. They're very expensive, so the odds of them dropping are very low, especially with the fact that they put Team of the Seasons in the mix, which means, you know, Team of the Seasons will take a super high priority here. Here I went with Koundé because he was closely linked with Chelsea, but the deal, nothing ever went on to happen with him. There was agreements that were said to have been made a while ago, but nothing ever, there was no official bids or anything. And I think the last I've seen in the transfer news for Koundé is that he's agreed to go to Barcelona, so you know, he'll go there. And here we get a pick between Militao or Gravenberch. I didn't go for Gravenberch because he's Dutch and in the Eredivisie and doesn't link to anything. And I was thinking about Militao because, you know, I have a secondary team that I will show you at some point in another video, but that second team is basically fodder if I'm ever in the dire need for it. You know, my pack luck has been pretty okay in terms of all these. You know, we've been getting nothing but fodder. We haven't packed anything for our Chelsea Road to Glory. You saw that we got Atal. We've gotten some Harry Kane fodder. Up next, you'll get to see some more fodder because that's literally what our account is right now, just a fodder collector. There's not really much, you know, considering everybody else's RTG is widely open to anything. You know, some people in this situation would pick Theo Hernandez because he's a good left back, or Davies because that man just runs up and down the field and never runs out of stamina. And Cuadrado obviously is already in our team as first owner untradeable, so you know we don't need another one. And I ended up going with Vlahovic because he's higher rated, so that takes the edge off some some of the SBCs that we may or may not do. And I say that, but if you've been playing FIFA for the past week, you know that Futties voting has already dropped yesterday. And it was a voting between Kai Havertz, Juan Bissaka, and Luis Diaz. So, you know, Kai Havertz is obviously going to win that, especially with the fact that EA didn't make them loans this year, which is interesting considering the way the voting went in previous years. I think FIFA 19 might have been the first year where they did loans for voting. Simply because the years before, people would just keep the high-rated cards that were in the vote and throw away the low-rated ones, which was a big controversy back, I think, in like FIFA 18. It was either 15 or 17 because there was a voting with Chucky Lozano and David Luiz, and at the time David Luiz was 86 and Lozano was like 78 or 79. And people ended up throwing the 79 rated into the voting card, and he ended up winning because people didn't want to throw away an 86 into a voting SBC, you know, because then you get rid of a free 86 that you didn't have to pay for, which is why they did loan voting. But now they're back to giving away free cards, which, you know, I don't want to complain about it, but you know, there's certain types of people that play this game that you have to understand that they will vote based on, you know, what they'll gain out of it. So like if all these cards were loans in the voting for the Havertz, then, you know, people would probably vote more personally on what would fit their team rather than, you know, picking Kai Havertz because he's an 84 that you don't have to pay for. I mean, maybe later down the line that 84 is more valuable because, you know, it's a unique voting card, and maybe you don't want to get rid of it, which, you know, that is one aspect that I would respect. I don't think I want to get rid of this Havertz voting card, but if I have to, if he ends up winning, because apparently there are 2 winners. I didn't even read that in the description that there are 2 winners for this voting. So obviously I think Havertz will be one of the winners. I don't think Juan Bissaka or Diaz would have a higher chance in winning that vote. And I'm surprised that they went with 3 Premier League players, but obviously I think they just wanted to put in Kai Havertz because Chelsea have not had anything massive for a while, especially after the whole sanctions and EA Sports having to deal with that and making us even more of an enemy in terms of that aspect. But now that all that stuff has been lifted with our new owner, you know, EA are like, you know, we'll get back to giving Chelsea some more promo cards, you know, because they missed out on Team of the Season, which is one of the big ones that we missed out on. You know, I feel like Rudiger should have gotten an upgrade. Hopefully he gets a Futties. Maybe he gets an end of an era. I'm still waiting on EA to do something with Rudiger because he's already transferred to Chelsea, so I don't think they would make, or he's already transferred to Real Madrid, so I don't think they would make a Chelsea card, which is sad because I still like using Mendy. But, you know, if I have to, I will use Team of the Season in Courtois, especially with the fact that Futties is coming. I would assume they put Team of the Seasons in like the second or third batch. Maybe they put low-rated Team of the Season in the first batch. But yeah, that is the update for the account. As you can see on the screen, you know, Drogba sitting on the reserves just because, you know, I want to wait, see if they make an update, give us the SBC, and if they do give us the SBC, then it's a quick finish. And I absolutely love this team with all the dynamics. Obviously, Eto'o is still a work in progress, but, you know, if he gets replaced by Drogba, there is no harm there. The bench is full of dynamics. The reserves are full of dynamics, bar Drogba, obviously. But, you know, I can't tell if this team is better than the team from previous years, because Last year, if I remember, Mendy did not have a special card. We had a Thiago Silva special card, a Christensen special card. Reece James just had his future stars. Ashley Cole, we had his moments. In the midfield, we had Essien, which we have this year as well, that we paid for. Last year, we had Balak, and we actually managed to grind a Pim Ruud Gullit, which, you know, I'm kind of hoping they drop again, but if they don't, you know, that's fine. I don't know if Gullit would replace any of these guys, considering that his dribbling is not as good as Oscar's. And I don't know if his defensive abilities are better than De Bruyne's, you know, but still, you know, if they dropped an SBC, I 100% would do it. And in terms of the attack, you know, we had that Hazard Festival of Futs, we had Drogba Pim, and then we had a Robben Futties card. So, you know, let's see what they do. Maybe we get a Futties Rudiger, maybe we get a Futties Mendy. That would be fantastic. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys very soon. This time I will not be waiting because Futties is tomorrow and there's going to be some stuff to record. Obviously there's going to be a lot of context, some objectives to be done, some packs to be opened. So, you know, I'll be ready to record everything. But I will see you guys later. Peace.